start. South Cambridgeshire District Council and its Chief Executive Liz Watts have hailed the great success of their latest pilot to have a 4-day working week. Paid 5 days, by the way. And there's a Lib Dem run local authority, and they basically decided that they think that this 4-day week pilot should be extended, and it should even cover bin men and caretakers in addition to office staff, because it's been such a success, even though, of course, everyone's been working from home at this council, so I'm not sure anyone would even notice. Let's talk to Conor Holohan, who's a media campaign manager at the Taxpayers Alliance, who uncovered this story. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Julie.
Thank you very much for joining us. I mean, again, councils, no one answers a phone, services are rubbish, council tax going up, and this is across the board, pretty much every council. No one's in the office. They're all working from home, walking their dogs, whatever it is they're doing, pretending to be at work. And now they're saying they don't even have to pretend to be at work for one of those days a week. And that's been a great success. Well, what a surprise, says the woman who apparently was also doing it.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? If you give staff the equivalent of 52 extra days of annual leave a year, they seem to quite enjoy it.
Imagine.
More fine. But for service users, and we can see when we look at the measurements that the council puts out themselves, if we compare to pre-pandemic levels, some of the key performance indicators are down, including answering the phone on time. That's one of the key ways people get in touch with their councils. But because council staff and residents are being used as guinea pigs in the chief executive and the leadership's experiment, they're going to have to put up with this. And I think there's a danger with this sort of experiment that, because they're hailing it as such a success with these sort of fiddled numbers, that it's going to spread to other parts of the country.
Well, again, everyone hails it a success when it benefits them, but of course the bosses are benefiting from this as well. And fascinatingly, the Chief Executive Liz Watts, as you at the TPA discovered, it also benefits her for the fact that she has spent the last 3 years studying for a PhD about the 4-day working week. Like, that's a proper PhD. She's now facing calls to quit over the potential conflict of interest, because basically she's been using staff and residents as guinea pigs for her own research at the University of the West of England. I have no idea where the University of the West of England is. I have a funny feeling you don't need great grades to get in. I'm going out on a limb.
Well, perhaps it helps in your studies if you've got an extra day off every week. But we've seen, for 6 months last year, the council occupancy rates were around 6%, and only 1 day out of those 6 months did occupancy tilt above 10%. So the council kind of argues it needs to bring in a 4-day working week to retain staff. I can't imagine many ways in which it can become, more occupying to its staff. So we are worried that this is going to spread to other parts of the country.
It is extraordinary. But my view is, whenever you hear about it, it's amazing, because we can all work. We can get all our work done in just 4 days. Well, clearly they're not getting all their work done because no one's answering the phone, and people still, I'm guessing, not having all the services they want. But if you can get all of your work done in 4 days that you were supposedly doing in 5, you weren't working hard enough. I mean, I don't know why people don't see. If you can lose 7 or 8 hours a week, it's because you weren't working hard enough. I mean, they're just scrunching it into 4 days. But my guess is, in a year's time, they'll be saying, can we go down to 3 days, please?
Absolutely, yeah. If you can do 5 days work in 4, it probably does suggest you're not working hard enough. This is at a time in South Cambridgeshire when council tax is going up, and they're being told, residents are being told, this trial's been a great success, but you're not going to be able to reach your council on the phone as easily as you used to be able to do. So
because COVID, I'm amazed by how many councils and businesses still have duty. Like, guys, you still can't use that excuse. And frankly, it wasn't an excuse after about July 2020, was it? Conor Holohan at the Taxpayers Alliance, thank you. Quick word from Russell Quirk. Your face has been a picture the whole way through that interview.
Well, no, the COVID excuse is still alive and well. The office that we have, service offices in at Liverpool Street, actually, I last week asked why the bins weren't being emptied anymore from inside the office. And you know the answer from the reception?
Because COVID.
COVID. And I said, what do you mean? I said, has no one told you that's over? It's finished. And she went, well, no, the policy remains. And I said, it's to save money, isn't it? Just be honest. So just be honest about it.
Yeah.
This 4-day week thing is a complete nonsense and a fallacy. And of course, if you want to work 4 days, fine, do that. As you've led by example, take a 20% pay cut. That seems fair to me. But to want to work 20% less for the same money and get therefore an immediate 20% pay increase, despite the fact that the public sector are moaning that they're not paid enough, is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, the poor residents of South Cambridgeshire.
Yeah, exactly. I've worked in so many offices. I did loads of temping work before. When I was waitressing and temping. I've done every job under the sun, and I was always fascinated by working in an office where people literally do nothing here all day. I mean, they just do nothing here all day. My rule is, if when you're away on a holiday or you're off sick, and if someone else doesn't have to do your job, maybe you don't get that much done in an average working day. I'm just throwing that out there. I think you could probably do away with half the council jobs. Imagine all those councils, you got rid of those. How many more carers you could pay for? How much more people you can get in working in schools,
but imagine
helping
the private
kids.
sector. Imagine being a temp and at 3 o'clock saying to your boss, I'm off now. And they said, well, where are you going? You work till 5. No, I'd like to work till 3 and still be paid till 5.
I hate to tell you, I think that is what's happening in the private sector, and that's one of the reasons why our country's going down.
Yes.
I really do
Maybe.
think that
it's more prevalent
but the
in the public
managers
sector.
are up for it as well, because we all do it, and that's the thing. It's got to stop. It just my mad mantra: do the job you're paid to do. My mind-blowing idea. 7:43 is the time. Up next, going to get a sports update. We're going to talk about that arrest outside Buckingham Palace. How secure is the Royal Palace?